Money, women. Fitness, women. Everything is a road that leads back to women.
Think about what you're supposed to be for a woman: a protector, a provider.
Then that guy's probably not prepared for the seriousness that comes with life.
These are just grown-ass man things that you need to learn.
They become frustrated because they always have to constantly be prepared for what comes next in the relationship.
You don't know how to change a light bulb? Do a quick search and just pick up that skill.
Girl, run the opposite way. He's a man baby. Yeah, and you had mentioned this earlier, and I want to get into it because there's no segment that we discuss on Failures Podcast that an audience that is young men under the age of 28 are not thinking about women, because that is what they're always thinking about. Everything is a road that leads back to women. Money, women. Fitness, women. A good career, women. That is all roads lead to women. And I thought you mentioned this on our pre-show meeting where we kind of build out the plan for the show. You had mentioned something as small as knowing how to be useful as a guy and fixing a flat tire, how much of an advantage that gave you with women. And then the opposite is also true. If you don't know how to do these things, you seem like a insanely incompetent human. I know you experience it now because you own a home and your family's home, but when things go wrong, even at 37, I'm sure everybody just looks at you like, all right, so what do we do?
Yeah, think about what you're supposed to be for a woman: a protector, a provider, and you don't know how to change a light bulb? You know what I mean? Like, you can't mow the lawn?
The Wi-Fi's down, I don't know what to do. Sorry.
Yeah, bro, that's unacceptable. Like, a woman is naturally going to look to you for you to resolve these like manly problems. She's not trying to take out the garbage or learn how to fix the garbage disposal. Like, these are just grown-ass man things that you need to learn. And if you don't know how to do them, go on YouTube, you know what I mean, and do a quick search and just pick up that skill.
I mean, I want to stay here because, you know, I think as we continue to build our catalog, I always want to make it clear this is something that I learned the hard way, which was understanding what it is that women scientifically want from a counterpart, most of the time as a guy. If you can't fix something and she naturally starts fixing it herself, in that moment, it's not gonna seem like the worst thing in the world because both of you guys are operating from a survival standpoint, which, you know, something as simple as you leaving your wallet at home and the restaurant doesn't take Apple Pay and she pays $60 for the sushi that you guys just had. She's not gonna be mad at it in that moment because it was more of like, oh, mistakes happen. But there's a real crazy subconscious thing that happens with women. And if it's not with them, it's with their friends and their parents and the people that care about them. There comes this like negative credit that if you continuously become the guy that is not aware of what's going on, didn't plan anything out, you didn't look around the corner to see if, you know, a problem was ahead of you, you parked on the wrong side of the street, she got a ticket, you forgot your credit card, she paid for the bill, it was cold out, you didn't pack a sweater for her, she doesn't have a sweater, now you're at Disneyland, it's freezing, and both of y'all gotta leave early. All those little things that you don't think ahead on with your adulting part of your brain, they accrue into a very frustrated woman who doesn't understand why she resents you, but she still finds you attractive. And what happens is they become frustrated because they always have to constantly be prepared for what comes next in the relationship. This is why a good mechanism for women, and I know this because my girl told me this and many, you know, other my women friends, a good test for a guy is to go on a road trip or go on or travel together. And if a man can't handle the 97 points of logistics that come from flying to another country or a long road trip, then that guy is probably not prepared for the seriousness that comes with life and potentially building a family with that person. And now don't get it fucked up. I know who our audience is, so I'm not saying at 22 you should be thinking about a family, but naturally women operate that way. And they're constantly evaluating and curating the selection of what guy they want to be with based on who could potentially be a liability. So adulting and being good at adulting and understanding the blind spots of adulting are correlated with, are you a liability? Am I gonna have to treat you like a big ass kid all the time and take care of you? Or are you somebody that's gonna help and contribute and make sure my life is a little bit easier so I can do what I gotta do? A bit of a tangent, but I do believe for all my guys out there that only think about the poon and that's all that's in their mind, that's why this episode is important. You have to understand that these things are precursors to a man who can provide long-term and be a source of accountability long term.
I love that. That's huge. And when you think about a relationship and you guys are leaning to each other for many different obstacles that you're navigating in life, right? She's looking to you for certain things, you're looking at her for certain things. So when the relationship becomes one-sided and she's just solving all the problems and all the obstacles, is like at that point you're a liability and you're actually being looked at less of a man, less of an adult. And a woman doesn't want that, bro. She wants a man that matches her maturity level. We're hoping to share something that will help you guys out and help you unpack that.
A few episodes ago, we did dating red flags. I promise you, we're not the show for women, but if there was one for women, and we put our mothers and our girlfriends' mothers on the show, that would be a red flag for a guy, for sure. I mean, think about the phrase, you mentioned it earlier, he's a man baby. What does that really mean? If you unpack that, women use that as a phrase to be like, girl, run the opposite way. He's a man baby. Why is that? Unpack that, Rich. What is it about that phrase that is truly a red flag from a girl's mother to their daughter?
Yeah, like I said, it's the maturity level. They're looking for a man to be able to protect and provide and build a safe home for them. If you're somebody who's just a goofy dude and you know what I mean, like, you know what I'm saying, like everything is a joke. You're playing video games.
Yeah,
like
reset what you were about to say because it was perfect. I laugh because I can't imagine being that goofy, but go ahead.
Maybe goofy is a bad word, but if you are the type of guy who you just spent all your time playing video games, just hanging out and not focused on the family, focused on your girlfriend or wife, focused on your children, it's naturally going to create resentment towards you. It's a burden to the relationship, right? She needs somebody who's mature, somebody who can carry a conversation, somebody who she feels comfortable having around, whether it be with his friends, her friends, or family. So I think it's an overall like just synergy of, do I have a man? Is my man an adult? It's trust, right? Can I trust this person? If shit got bad, right? Like, does he got it financially? If somebody broke into our house, does he have it physically, right? It's like a weird concoction of like all these things that a man should be.
It's not weird at all because that's how they're designed. They are literally and physically smaller than men. It's just science at this point. I'll put it to you this way, just so nobody fucking cancels the show. If I was around a guy that was 6'6" and he played in the NFL and he was in his physical prime and we went to the club together, chances are I'd feel a little bit more comfortable about a fight breaking out and me being with my boy Eddie, who used to be a lineman for the Jets. And I think that is the same premise that goes for a woman who sees you as the more physical and larger specimen of the two. And this subconscious thing happens where they're like, oh, I'm gonna tack on that biological feeling that I have towards my man, and then I'm gonna add all these other things that just naturally come with being the larger, more violent prone person in the two. So I'm gonna give them all these other responsibilities. It's really your job to fuck up those other responsibilities. So as time goes on, they realize, oh, he's not healthy, he's overweight. This man couldn't outrun a fucking chihuahua. There's no way he could save me. Every time I ask him to pick up something in the house, he's always complaining that it's too heavy, he gotta get a mover. Every time something breaks in the house, he always complains, he doesn't fix it, it stays broken for a long. They naturally just, so what happens is they hit their father, they reach out to their brother, they naturally start thinking, oh, this guy's not someone that is helpful. He cannot rescue me from the zombie apocalypse. You wanna know a real life tip? We could pivot into the second segment after this, Rich. This is real game. Take out your notepads or your iPhone and write this shit down. Or just play me on speaker next to ChatGPT and just let it write it down. If you really wanna know if your girl or your potential girlfriend sees you as the shining light that is a hero in her life, watch a horror film with her. Ideally, watch a zombie movie with her. And in the middle of the zombie movie, pause it and say, babe, out of curiosity, if we were in a zombie apocalypse and you could only be with two people to help you get through the zombie apocalypse, who would it be? If she picks two other grown men other than you, you're not the guy in her life. I promise you. You're just a pretty person that she's getting a nut off with, and she wants no future plans with you because you're not someone that can build the foundation of a house because she sees you as a delicate flower that can't handle the zombie apocalypse. I've done it before. It works. If you don't come up in the first two draft picks, it's a dub. Just keep it moving, my boy. You're not like that.